you obtain outrageous resources from God that owns all the cattle on every hill. Committing to a responsibility of towering dimensions sows the seeds for a sure harvest of disillusionment. Unless you obtain a magnificent portion of anointing from the God that changed Saul into another man and gave him another heart. I'm telling you, this prayer that Jabez prayed is an awesome prayer. I want to leave you with these words. God commanded us to be fruitful and multiply. Those were his first words in Genesis. He didn't tell you to go, not that you shouldn't, but his first words weren't for you to go get to go learn about astronomy or none of that. He said be fruitful and multiply. That was God's first command to mankind. And then to steward it and manage it. If you're going to be a disciple, because that's the only way to go to heaven is to be a disciple. You can't be a Christian and go to heaven, because even demons fear and tremble. They believe. Believing alone by itself without putting it to action is not good enough. But if you're going to be a disciple, you must bear much fruit. Jesus said it. You must bear fruit. You must expand. You must fulfill that which you're called to do. A faithful steward is one who not only can handle, but also desires increase. A faithful steward can handle increase, but also desires increase. More responsibility. That means that you got a lot of work to take care of what you have right now. And get it organized and raise up leaders and train. And you don't know how to raise up leaders? Read a book. There's a million books out there about how to be a leader. Grow, change. And then when you've got it all together and you've got a leader handling your stuff, you say, I'm ready for more, Lord. That's what a faithful steward is about. Jesus commanded them to feed the 5,000 without the visible resources. There were no resources. There was a fish and 2 loaves. And he said, feed the 5,000. And all they had was faith to believe. And a little lad came and he said, I'll do it. And not only were the 5,000 fed, but there were leftovers. There was abundance. There was more than enough. It is our responsibility. It is your responsibility. It is my responsibility to take in the homeless stranger. Now, if you don't want them in your home, then you got to buy several homes. Or you take them into your home. And you make sure you have alarms and this and that, and you screen them and whatever. You train them. You don't take in a homeless stranger without training them in character, without making them go to church. If you're living for free, you ought to make them go to church, you know what I mean? But that's forcing people, then you can't come in there. Otherwise, buy a few homes. It's your responsibility to take in the homeless stranger. According to my Bible, if you don't do it, there's consequences for not fulfilling your Great Commission. Or if you don't want to buy the homes, you don't want them in your home, then sponsor some homeless people. We've got plenty of homes for people that need help. Feed the hungry. How are you going to feed the hungry if you just have just enough for you and your little old family? I think it's a worse sin to be middle class than it is to be poor or rich. You know why? Because poor people can't do it, and rich people, have the amount of money to do it, and middle class people don't care enough to do anything more than for themselves. And I don't know if you're middle or upper middle or whatever, but if you're just settled and happy with just having, you don't worry about nothing. You got your rent paid, your food, your mortgage, whatever, and your car paid, and you got a little savings for the future, and you're happy. According to my Bible, you're a pathetic mess, according to my Bible. If you got it like that, that means you can increase. That means you can do more. You're not in the situation of the poor. You have the resources to do more. I think middle class is like that lukewarm person, You're in the middle. You're not hot. You're not cold. So God just says, I'm going to vomit you out of my mouth. I'm just preaching the Bible. I'm not trying to offend you. I'm just preaching the word. It's your responsibility and my responsibility to quench the thirsty. It's our responsibility to clothe the naked. It's our responsibility to visit the prisoners and the sick. That requires resources. How are you going to visit the prisoner and the sick if you have an all-day long job? You got to have resources. You got to own businesses. I'm not knocking you if you don't. I'm just trying to expand your vision. I'm just trying to motivate you. If you got a job, get a promotion. But how do I do that? I don't know how. I don't know. You heard it. Moses, Jeremiah, Solomon, all of them. No excuses. The fig tree, but it's not the season, but it's not possible. No excuses. You're supposed to increase, and the only way you're going to do it is through this prayer. with compassion, he looked at the multitudes that fainted. He said they're like sheep without shepherds. What does that mean? We need more shepherds. We need more cell groups. We need more leaders. We need more people getting involved in Leadership Institute. Why? Because it's the commission of Jesus. That's why we do it, because it's in the Word. Let your prayers be this: transform me, expand me, and protect me. And you will succeed. I guarantee it. So I charge you to be successful in all that you do. God takes pleasure in it. Your family will benefit from it. And the world will be a better place for it. God bless you.